Continue on 130 where we left off.
Okay.
There are spiritual courtesies.
There are spiritual courtesies of companionship with a friend who never leaves your side, even as everyone of creation will part company with you at one time or another.
So he says these things I just told you are the courtesies you need to have. When you have a friend, there's certain, manners and courtesies. He says these are the courtesies you need to have with the companion that never leaves you. Read over this a few times, brothers and sisters, when you go home, and we need to incorporate this. We need to incorporate this at practical level. There has to be some time in the morning and evening where we're cut off from everything.
And I just want to add, you can see it in other people, and what you see is the effect. If somebody's yelling at them and they manage to keep talking with a civil tone and not just start screaming back.
They see that that piece of heart is there.
Yeah, you
exactly.
can see that.
Exactly. Okay, next point. Let's go forward. If we keep stopping, we won't learn much. Let's go forward.
Etiquette of the scholar.
Yes, adabul alim. So now, to the next person. How are we to be with a person of knowledge? Someone we're learning from. How should our adab be with him? Okay, let's read that.
If you are a scholar, then the manners of a scholar that you must have are ample tolerance.
Okay, number one, if you're a scholar, you have to have a lot of tolerance. Because you'll encounter a lot of ignorance. So you just have to be patient and bear that with tolerance. Number two?
Keeping to forbearance. Gravity and a dignified bearing when in the company of people.
Yes, gravity. Meaning you hold your composure as a scholar.
Refraining from showing haughtiness toward any slave of Allah.
Yes, listen, this is very important. The sign of a pseudo-scholar is that his knowledge makes him feel arrogant and above people. The sign of a true scholar is that he increases in humility before people. Because a true scholar, no matter what he learns, he realizes he knows nothing.
So refraining from showing haughtiness toward any slave of Allah, except for tyrants, as a deterrent to their oppressive behavior.
Yes. So that means in the case that he has to stand up and show who he is and speak up for truth, he stands up in the cases of oppression.
Preferring a lowly status in gatherings and meetings.
Yes, so not to want the main seat all the time. Not to want to be at the head so everyone sees you. A true scholar should, he wants to come in and sit quietly in the back. And no one knows he's even there. But when the people are looking, where's my seat? You guys didn't put my seat? It's supposed to be ready already.
Or
This
his
is
name in it.
or his name or a parking spot. I'm joking with the parking spot. For some people they need the parking spot, okay? But the point is, he should not want a sign that has true knowledge is this humility in his heart. Not arrogance.
Avoidance of jesting and making jokes.
This is because oftentimes when we over joke and over jest, we lose the respect or the awe that we have for that scholar. So that's where that's based out of.
Gentleness with the student.
Yes, teaching. If we look at how Rasulullah ﷺ, our Prophet ﷺ, how gentle he was. A man comes and urinates in the masjid. Can you imagine? No, we can't. But how gentle was he with that person? So gentleness with students. And brothers, this is how we need to be. Gentle with everyone. If they don't know, we need to educate with gentleness, softness.
Showing patience and equanimity with the student or questioner who is haughty.
Yes. If the questioner is an arrogant person, you don't show your arrogance now. No, you remain who you are. You remain who you are at all times.
Correcting the dull-witted with excellent guidance and not becoming annoyed with them. Not to be too proud to say, I don't know.
Ah, yes. Who knows about Imam Malik? Everyone knows this, right? How many questions was it, Safi?
It's like 40.
40 questions. Someone came to the Imam Malik. Imam Malik was the Imam of Darul Hijrah, the Imam of Medina. His knowledge, imagine the oceans of knowledge. He was looking at the Sahaba. And someone came and asked him a question. He said, I came from so far, such and such place. We gathered 40 questions for you. Out of 40 questions, he said, La adri, I don't know, to 39 or 40 questions. So the person said, what am I going to tell the people when I go back? Tell them Imam Malik said he doesn't know. But some people, when they get to that level, they say, no, I have to have an answer for everything. I can't say I don't know. So a sign of a true scholar is he has the ability to say, I don't know. I don't know. Go forward.
Devoting your full attention to the questioner and genuinely attempting to understand his question.
Yes, this is a problem with those who have ADD, right? Keeping your attention to the one speaking to you. Some of us have a very hard problem keeping our attention. May Allah make it easy for us.
Fully accepting another's proof in a debate.
Yes. Imam Shafi, he says, I never got in a debate with someone except sincerely from my heart, I hope that the truth would become evident on his tongue, not mine. Think about that statement. Imam Shafi, we argue so much defending him. He says, I never debated with anyone except sincerely in my heart, I prayed and hoped that the truth would become evident on his tongue, not mine. And we are arguing. Imam Shafi said this, brother. Yes, Imam Abu Hanifa said this, brother. And they were totally different.
So, can I just clarify this?
Yep.
So, what he means is that you don't have to convince the other person.
No.
Because you will, in a debate, you will never.
You can never win a debate, according to Dale Carnegie.
But if the other person says something that you wanted that person to understand, then you win.
Yes, you can never win a debate. Even if you win, you didn't win. You can't win. It's very difficult. Unless the person himself wants to learn. Go forward. So these are the etiquette of the scholar. What a scholar should be like.
Submitting to the truth and returning to it when you realize you are wrong.
Yes. When you have been proven wrong, to humble yourself and say, I am wrong. It's so hard for people. Once they get on a certain status, they'll never say, I can't say it. I'm wrong. What is Imam Ghazali telling us? We're not scholars, but we can see who's a scholar. We can see the attributes of a scholar here. Keep going.
Preventing the student from learning any branch of knowledge that will harm him.
Yes. This is the job of the scholar, to tell a person, brother, don't study this. It's not good for you. It's dangerous for you to study this information right now. Whatever field it may be.
Deterring the student from desiring in his pursuit of useful knowledge anything other than the countenance of Allah.
Yes, remember when we study whatever we learn, we don't learn it to show off to people that look what I learned. So the scholar should always be reminding, hey, we're doing this for Allah. We're not doing to show off to anyone. This is only for Allah.
And preventing the student from occupying himself with the communal obligations before he has completed his individual obligations.
Yes, taking care of those around him, not just being concerned with his own.
His own primary individual obligation is to rectify his outward and inward with the countenance of Allah, taking account of himself first, so that the student may follow him in actions first, from benefiting from his example, and benefit from his words second. Yes,
very easily said in English. Words, actions speak louder than words. So the scholar should first practice what he preaches. And the people will follow his action, not what he says. I'll give you an example. When the Sahaba went for Hajj and they were prevented from entering into Mecca, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam signed a treaty, and they weren't allowed to enter into Mecca. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had come with so many Sahaba companions, and they wanted so badly to go for the pilgrimage and see the city they had not seen in so long, but they weren't allowed to. So the Prophet ﷺ comes out of his tent and he says, everyone slaughter your camel, your sacrificial camel, and cut your hair. We're not going into the city. No one moved. No one did anything. The Prophet told them again. No one did anything. The Prophet goes back into his house. He tells his wife, Salima. She says, you go outside, slaughter, don't say anything. Go outside, slaughter your animal, and shave your head. That's all. So he went outside. He did that. And then everyone followed what he did. We learn a lot from this too. A good spouse is very needed for everyone. Even the Prophet needed a good spouse to give him counsel. So imagine us. The other thing we learn, people follow by example. Not by words, a good speech. Example. Action. That also tells us another thing. A lot of the scholars we benefit from, we only know them because they're on YouTube. We never seen them. We never seen their practice. Yes, we heard a beautiful lecture, but have you ever witnessed this person? Have you ever been with him? So how do you know anything of what Imam Ghazali says here? How can you vouch for it? Remember that. A true scholar is not by the knowledge, but by practice. Next one.
The etiquette of the student.
The etiquette of the student on page 132.
If you are a student, then the manners of a student with the teacher are to be the first to greet and offer the salutation of peace.
Yes, so be the first to say, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Not to speak too much in his presence.
Okay, yes, you came to learn. So in order to learn, you have to shut this and open this.
Not to speak unless asked something by the teacher. Not to ask questions without first seeking permission.
Okay. These are the things, even in public school, we need to teach the kids. Kids have forgotten any type of manners. We're living in an age now, there are no rights and responsibilities. I can do what I want. They just get up and walk out of class. Like, ask permission. This is not the adab. And they'll say, why should I? Because it's not right to. Who said it's not right to? Every questioning of authority. So these are the adab that we should inculcate in our children today. We have to. This is very important.
Not to say in contradiction to what he has said, so-and-so, another scholar says something different from what you said.
Yeah, so the scholar says something and then you say, yeah, but he says this. He says this. Imam Ghazali says this is bad manners with your teacher.
Not to point out something contrary to his opinion, thinking himself more learned than the teacher. Not to whisper to another student in his gatherings.
Okay, again. Just slow down. Can we slow down a little? Can we slow down, please? Say that one again.
Not to whisper to another student in his gathering.
And I'll tell you, brothers and sisters, when we were studying with our teachers, we do none of this. None of this. Ever. We wouldn't even think about it. Wouldn't even think about it.
Not to look around.
Daydreaming.
But rather to sit with good manners.
Okay, now look. If you look at a typical high school, like, I'm very surprised, but you'll see the kid, like, feet on the table, sitting, The idea is to show I'm not listening to you. As much as possible, I want to show you, I don't care what you're saying. So this is telling us it has to be the exact opposite. You have to show this teacher that I want to know everything. And it's funny, when a student does show a teacher that he's genuinely concerned, he gets more attention from the teacher and a special attention from the teacher, which helps and aids in his learning.
But to sit with good manners, eyes downcast, as though in ritual prayer.
Again, he's on a higher level than us, so it's not that easy for us in our day and age.
Not to burden him with questions when he is tired or weary.
Yeah, so what you do is you look at the situation. Sometimes you can tell that the teacher's tired, and like, if you keep hitting him with questions, according to what we learned before, he has to be patient, right? So he's going to sit patiently and listen and try. But all right, the brother's tired right now. So Imam Ghazali say you should be respectful of that.
To stand when he stands out of respect. Not to follow him from the gathering, talking to him and asking him questions. Not to ask him questions on the way to his home until he reaches there.
Yeah, you're calling like, I got another question, I got another question, I got another question.
And not to form a bad opinion of him
Hmm.
regarding actions that appear outwardly to be blameworthy, for he knows better about his own personal affairs.
Wow. Can you read that again?
And not to form a bad opinion of him regarding actions that appear outwardly to be blameworthy.
Appear outwardly to be blameworthy. You don't know why he's doing what he did. It's narrated. I haven't read it myself. That Imam Malik didn't go to Fajr prayer for a short period of time. A month, 2 months or so. And someone asked him, what happened? And he basically told him, everyone should mind their own business. There's certain personal affairs. You don't know the situation. You don't know what's going on. Right? So have a good opinion about what outwardly seems to be kind of shaky. Oh, maybe there's a reason why he has to do that. We should be like that towards everyone, though, by the
How
way.
do you show concern towards him? When you don't, we don't.
Oh, you should still, you should still, is everything okay, this and that. But to specifically say, why are you doing, what's up with that? That would be kind of like crossing the limits with your teacher.
Let the student recall the words of Moses to Khidr, peace be upon them both. He said, have you made a hole in the boat to drown the owners of it? Indeed, you have done a peculiar thing.
Remember this situation, right? So we all know the story when Moses was traveling with Khidr. Khidr put a hole in a ship for no reason. So
No obvious reason.
no obvious reason. Thank you. And he questioned him, but he didn't know. We should learn from that. There was a deeper wisdom why he put the hole in the ship. He was saving life, not taking life.
Mistaken was he in his condemnation of Khidr's actions, because he relied on their outward appearance.
Very good.
The etiquette of the child with the parent.
The etiquette of the child with the parent.
If you have parents who are still alive, then the manners of the child with the parents are to listen to what they say, to stand up when they stand out of respect, to submit to doing what they say, not to walk ahead of them, not to raise your voice over theirs, to answer them when they call you, to be intent upon seeking their good pleasure, to lower to them the wing of humility, not to remind them of your goodness towards them.
Very important, brothers and sisters. Our parents have done so much for us. How can we remind them of any little small thing we did for them?
Nor of the fact that you are taking care of their affairs for them.
This is in our time and age, again, when we see all the parents going to old age homes and this and that, no one wants to take care of the... Look what he's saying, you should be taking care of them out of your duty to them. It's not a favor. You owe them the world. You owe them everything you are, even if they were the worst parents, because they brought you into the world.
But brother, I'm sorry to interrupt in this part, but in some situations, the parents themselves don't want to be in the child's home.
Yeah, this happened recently with someone I know personally. And the grandmother said, I would rather be in an old folks' home than at the house. So I feel that a lot of that is because of the way we portray them to be a burden. You say, yeah, you could come to my house. That's totally different than saying, can you please come over this weekend? We're missing you. We didn't see you. The first one is that, yeah, if you want to. The second one is, we're waiting to see you. So I think a lot of times we speak through our heart speaks. That do we really want them with us? And they sense that right away. Our parents are very wise. They pick it up right away. Okay, send me to the old folks' home. I'd rather be there. I don't want to be a burden. No, I never said you were a burden. Yeah, you did kind of. So that's my personal opinion. Maybe you have a better insight on that than me. But I don't know.
not to look at them askance, not to frown.
Not to look at them askance. Askance?
It's like sideways.
Okay.
Not to frown in their faces, and not to travel except with their consent.
Yeah, you're going on it. You're going somewhere. Just tell them. Ask. Okay, I'm going such and such place. Can I go? No matter how old we are. No matter how old we are. So these are some etiquettes with our parents.
Know that after the categories above, the rest of people who have relations with you fall into 3 further categories: friends and brothers, acquaintances, and people you do not know. So people you do not know.
Okay, he's going to start with the people we don't know. Start with the people we don't know. How should we be dealing with people we don't know?
When you are tested with people you do not know of the general public, the etiquette of sitting with them entails avoiding getting involved in their conversations or discussions.
Yes, okay. So you're sitting there eating in Subway and the guys behind you are talking. You don't go, yeah, you know, I was thinking, I heard what you guys were talking about. That's a good idea. No. Everyone, you're in your own conversation. Don't butt into what they're saying. First thing. A lot of this is common sense, but people don't do it today. People don't do it, brothers and sisters. Go forward.
Not paying too much attention to their disquieting talk.
Yeah. Don't sit there trying, just listening. Enjoying.
Disregarding what follows on from the bad things they say.
Mm-hmm.
Being wary of meeting with them too often or getting into a position where you are in need of them. And
Interesting. Wait, let's go back and read that again.
Being wary of meeting with them too often or getting into a position when you are in need of them.
I don't understand that. Anyone understand that?
Hanging out with them, I guess.
With who? People you don't know?
Or just
How you used to know them.
yeah.
Well, I think they're talking about people that you've met, but you don't know well enough. And so before you get to know what their character is really like, you're getting too involved with them.
Yeah.
You start feeling like you need them and then find out that their character isn't very good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Facebook and Twitter would cancel a lot of this stuff. We get involved with so many people we don't know who they are. And they go all the way into your personal life. Every little bit about you, they know.
Or sometimes the people put everything in all their personal lives there.
Don't even go into that, sister. I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
I think if you read it all the way to the end.
Yeah, let's read it to the end. Okay, let's read forward. I'm sorry. Let's go.
Being wary of meeting with them too often or getting into a position when you are in need of them, and calling their attention to the blameworthy actions with gentleness and sincerity when there is hope that they will accept what you say.
Hold on. So here he's saying,
I think in this paragraph he's going from people you don't know at all, where you basically ignore what they're saying, to people you know but not well. And advice on how to deal with them.
They're trying to win
Because
popularity
they haven't reached the
from them.
point yet of brothers
So when
and
they're
friends.
doing something wrong, you're really taking it easy on them so they can like you.
hold on. Let's read this in the whole thing again. When you are tested with people you do not know of the general public, the etiquette of sitting with them entails. Sitting with them entails avoiding getting involved in their conversations or discussion, not paying too much attention to their disquieting talk, disregarding what follows on from the bad things they say. This is when you're sitting with them. Being wary of meeting them. Yeah, but I don't get the connection. Being wary of meeting them too often, or getting into a position where you are in need of them. The thing is this. Let's put some things, clarify some things. Our necessities and what we need, normally we should always turn to those who we have a close relationship with. You shouldn't be depending on people who you don't know. That's for sure. And
If you use an example and think about politicians, you get to talking to them, but I think this advice fits a lot of what should be our interactions with them.
Wow, that's a very good point. That's it right there. That is politics. Meeting with them. Wow, that's a very good point, sister. I think that hits the nail on the head. And we get in a position where we feel like we need them. Yeah, we need them. And calling to attention their blameworthy things. Now people don't speak bad about the politician now, right? He's saying you still have to do that with sincerity. Tell them what they're doing wrong. Very good point. Let's go to the next one.
Brothers and friends. Before entering into such a relationship, you must do two things. The first duty, to check for the presence of the requisite qualities of companionship.
Okay, this is important. Nowadays, friends is so a loose term, right? He's my friend. No. The saying goes, if you find one good friend in life, you gain the world. If you can get one good friend in your whole life, you've gained the world. Our youth don't understand friends come and go. They think this person I know in high school, I'm going to know him forever. I have to make my life to please him. You won't even see that person in 3 years and never see him again. The youth never understand this. They live for the people around them. You won't see that person again, I guarantee. When we get older, we realize, man, who were those people? Have no idea. So, but friends, a true friend, Imam Ghazali is telling us how to make a true friend. Who to make your friend. This is very important chapter. Let's look at this.
Okay. So,
read it again from the beginning. First duty.
The first duty, to check for the presence of the requisite qualities of companionship and friendship.
So he has to have certain qualities. Not anyone can be your friend. Like you got an application you want to fill out. Do you want to be my friend? Seriously, here's the application. Let's go through it.
For you should not take a brother, one who is not fit for brotherhood.
You should not take as a brother one who is not fit for brotherhood.
The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "A person's religious life is only as good as that of his friend."
Yes, look at this saying of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi. A man will be on the religion of his brother, his friend. So look closely who you befriend. Think about that saying. The Prophet told us a person will be according to the religion of his friend. How your friends are, that's how you will be. That's how you'll be. So the Prophet said, be careful who you befriend. Keep going.
If you seek a companion to be your partner in learning and your friend in the matters of your religious life and your worldly life, look for 5 qualities.
Okay, you want a partner to learn Islam with. You want a friend for your religious matters. You know, like we go to talks together, we read together, whatever. Or your worldly life, someone you could just chill out with. Look for 5 qualities. 5 qualities in any friend. This stuff is gold, brothers and sisters. This is gold.
Number 1, intellect.
He has to have aql. Don't take a fool as a friend. You know those guys in high school, you know they're just like really slow? No. Because they'll affect you. When you're around smart people, you become smart. When you're around dumb people, you become dumber. Literally. I'm oversimplifying it, but it's scientifically proven. You're affected by your company. The same way children are affected by their parents. Keep going. I'm sorry. We have 2 minutes left.
There is no good friendship with a foolish person, for such friendship will only end in estrangement and breaking off relations. This person may even harm you while intending to bring you benefit.
Because he's a fool. He doesn't know good from wrong. He doesn't know good from wrong. So he's going to hand you the drink or the drug and say, you know, let's do this. He means good. But he's killing you. Right? He means good. Come on, just take a sip. He means good. He sincerely means good for you. But he's killing you. Don't take a fool as a friend, first and foremost.
For an intelligent enemy is sometimes better than a foolish friend.
Stop there. Read that again, please.
For an intelligent enemy is sometimes better than a foolish friend. Ali.
Oh, wait, please. I don't want to say anything. I want to just think about that. An intelligent enemy is better than a foolish friend. You trust the friend. You don't question what they do. The enemy you're always aware of. You're on guard. A foolish friend will destroy you. Foolish friend will just destroy you.
But I think in the other hand, we have a human tendency of accepting the one who will not question us, who is easygoing and says nice things about us.
That doesn't necessitate that he's a fool. I think an intelligent person will have those qualities too. So you're right, I agree, but why do we have to say it necessitates that a fool will be easygoing with us in this and that? I think an intelligent person a truly intelligent person will be easygoing and tell us what's good for us. And yes?
It will be much easier.
Much easier, exactly. I think an intelligent person will be much easier going on us.
If let's say for example you want to befriend someone who's kind of foolish, just so that they can be better, is that like a bad thing? Because if no one befriends the fools, how will they ever become guided or like become better?
See, good point.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
That's the challenge, but
Yes.
no, you have to understand. You are.
You can befriend somebody without being a friend in the way he's talking about.
1 second. A doctor does what? Cures the sick. That requires him to be around the sick. But he takes the precautions necessary to protect himself. You want to be with them and help them? Be like a doctor amongst them. Know that they're sick. Recognize the sickness. When you recognize the sickness and you're away from it, that's totally different from when you're just chilling with them thinking they're all good, they're okay. Be like a doctor then, if you want to be that job. But if you don't know medicine, stay out of the hospital.
No, but the friendship is different to be with something.
But
and help
she's
them.
saying that I want to befriend this person to make them better. Or I'm saying you're going to a hospital and you're not a doctor, you might get sick. So be careful. That's what they're telling us here. You yourself should not have that much confidence that I can save everyone now. I'm messed up myself. If I stay around this person, I'm going to get more trouble. Because I myself haven't rectified my inner state.
But you see, brother, I think that's the issues of nowadays, and maybe it always was, that the youth, when we're young, we think we can conquer the world.
Yeah, of course.
I think we're right now on friendship in time.
Yeah.
We see that might be falling into.
It's coming later. It's coming later. You know what? Like all this is coming later too. We have to stop here. Our time is up. It was just getting good. Saeed, you see how we went quick today? Last time we just kept reading. Like we didn't talk too much, so that's why it went so fast. We'll stop now. We'll have dhuhr. May Allah accept it from us, inshallah. I hope everyone joins us next week, inshallah. Subhanallah. Okay, even if there's construction, let's have class. Okay? The bathrooms.
Okay.
But just come with wudu. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Thank you for coming, everyone. Sister, thank you.